Have you been beaten up by the world, like the world is overcoming you? Well, today's verse is John 16:33. This is often known as a segment of what is called the Last Supper. It's Jesus' final meal before he is crucified, his final meal with his disciples. And this particular verse is near the end of his speech. Jesus said, "I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world." What wonderful words. But it doesn't seem like Jesus is telling the truth, does it? I mean, if he has overcome the world, why is it so broken? There's war and sickness, oppression, mental illness, medical issues, broken relationships, abuse. So what is John telling us about Jesus and about the world in this text? Well, of all the Gospels, John helps us see from the eternal perspective. Jesus has overcome the world through what God has done through him, God has done through Christ in the past, with the cross and the resurrection, and what God, through Christ, has already done in the future, setting everything right. So the future is completed already, just as much as the past is completed. In other words, this book that God is writing is already written. God holds the beginning and the end and everything in between at the same moment. It happened to be placed in the middle of God's divine story. That is the eternal perspective. So yes, from the eternal perspective, Christ has overcome the world and has overcome us, setting us free. So, hand your day and your world over to Christ. And as we go, ask yourself, how can God's eternal perspective change my outlook? Even in the small details of my relationships, my work, my anxiety, my money, my family. You see, Christ has overcome the world, setting you free. So how can your life show that?